And good morning to everyone. I hope your day is starting out well. This is Wednesday. I was making sure I had my days right there. It looks as though today is going to be a serious weather event. We will stay on top of this throughout today to let you know where things are. And, last night when I talked, I told you I thought we could be upgraded from the scale from the National Weather Service being 1 through 5, 5 being the worst. We were at a 4 last night. I believe we were live somewhere around 9 o'clock last night. And sure enough, after midnight, that was switched to a 5 out of 5 for the Meridian area. Now, this is going to go east to over to Livingston, Alabama, go north from there to Gordo, Alabama. We'll look at the map here and look at this. But what I don't want anybody to misconstrue on this, you've got the color scheme on this is the way it works. We've got 5 being the worst. They got that as a purple, 4 being a red. There's not much difference in between that 4 and that 5. When you look at these color schemes, it's going to be bad, but just because your house may be on this side of that doesn't mean that you're out of the woodwork, so to speak. So all of us in this area, regardless whether you're in the 5 or the 4 or the 3, pay close attention to this as we head toward midnight. All of this should be out by midnight. We should expect several rounds of this. As a matter of fact, when we go to radar, we've got some tornadoes that are approaching the state of Mississippi right now, coming in from Arkansas. That was happening earlier this morning. I think there are already some warnings out in the state in the northwest corner in the Delta, up near Clarksville and those areas. We're going to look at that in just a second and go over all of those areas this morning. But a very serious weather event. I want you to plan on this, have you a weather plan. Sometime after 1 o'clock is when the activity will begin in our area. And I've watched some of these national guys that chase these storms for a living. Reed Timer was talking about the Meridian area last night. That's what he does for a living is chase tornadoes. And I think he plans to be here somewhere around the area this afternoon on go to chase these as they come down. We'll watch it. Let's hope. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we don't have any damage. There is potential with this on everything that is being said about this being long-track tornadoes possible with this. Now, I'm not saying don't take this out of context. Back in 2011, that was listed as a long-track tornado. So we can sort of expect those kind of conditions today. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but conditions are favorable for things like that to happen. So we'll go over that. Later on this morning, I'll be speaking with WMOX. I'll join them around 7:20 this morning. We'll do some updates on the air with them also to go over the weather. All right, let's first, as we get this going, share my page. If you've never followed it, click follow so you can get the updates when we go live to tell you where the weather is. It alerts you, and then if you'll hit share, invite your friends, it adds. There's probably another 40 to 50,000 people that need to watch. As it doesn't matter how you watch or get your information on weather, make sure you're getting it somewhere. Have 2 ways of getting it. The NOAA weather radio station is one of the handiest there. It doesn't work off a cell tower. It works great. It always works and very loud. Have your cell phone for your backup. Make sure you got your notifications on for the government alerts. Sometimes those work, sometimes they won't. Have that third one there. And, of course, you can have me here to follow, and I'll be on top of that as well. All right, let's start here, and let's pull up. Let's start out with what the National Weather Service has for us, and we will look at the timelines of what we've got. All right, let's see here. I've got some of this kind of backwards this morning somehow or another. That's okay. All right, let's start here with flash flooding of what is expected today. This entire area here has a chance of brief flooding, downpours, minor flooding over roads. If you get into that, do not cross roads that have water over it. It's not worth your life, and that can happen quickly. We got a few pictures yesterday. If you encounter that, pass them on to me so we can post that so others can see where you are. Again, that's the flash flooding there. That's through today through about midnight. All right, let's move up and we'll go back. Somehow or another, I didn't get my stuff in a row. Didn't have my ducks going right, did I? As we look at this, the severe thunderstorms today, as we look over here and the west side past Vicksburg into Louisiana. That's 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And as I told you just a moment ago, already about right along in here, we've got some tornado warnings already fired off this morning. Now, as we get into the Jackson area, from Vicksburg to Jackson, that looks like about Forest right there. That's going to be 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. And then the Meridian area, which is going to stretch over to Livingston, Alabama, almost the way to Tuscaloosa there, it's going to be from 1 until midnight this afternoon. Now, as we look at these timelines, keep in mind that anything can happen in between now and then. It doesn't strictly stick to that. And this is going to be multiple rounds of this. It won't be where we have a storm come through and it's gone. It will be several of these that come through. It'll be several storms that pop in and several rounds of it is what I'm trying to say. So keep it in mind that once one passes, it doesn't mean it's all over. All right, let's look here at the Alabama side. As we pull up this, we see here Alabama right here. It doesn't make it over to Tuscaloosa, but all of this area here, Livingston, Alabama, is included in this area 5 with the Meridian area. Their timeline is going to be the same as Meridian. They're going to push theirs a couple of hours later. Lauderdale County should be getting out around midnight. They're going to carry this area here through Demopolis to about 2 a.m. Then you jump over, and then it's 4 a.m. and then to 7 p.m. over toward the Auburn side. Lots of activity there. That's what's going to happen in Alabama. Let me go back up through here. As we look at their timetable here in Alabama, they've got the Meridian area side there starting at 1, and they push it just a little bit further to 2 a.m., which that's okay. We'll be weather alert on it, watching it no matter what time that is. And then as you go into the Montgomery area, 1 to 4 a.m., and then on into that south side over there, southeastern side there, 1 p.m. to 7 a.m., all the way through the early morning hours. All right, let's back out now and go over and take a look at radar of what's going on this morning on radar, so you'll just kind of know what's going on. All right, let's go here, and we're going to go over the timelines here of the boundaries. That's the wrong button. Here we go. The boundaries of where everything is. We'll go over it, show you where the 5 is and where the 4 is. All right, let's back out here. This is the map. Look how big this storm is. This stretches from Kansas City all the way through Houston, Texas, down to New Orleans, over to Atlanta, taking in Nashville, all the way up to Missouri. As we get into our next ring, this is the 2 area here. This is going to take in Nashville. Also, our friends there in the Murfreesboro area, you've got a 2 on this scale that goes over to Atlanta, down to Pensacola and Beaumont, on up through here. We get to this second ring. This is the number 3, which is pretty serious as well. We've seen tornadoes hit with a 2 because there's always a probability something could happen. As we do this, that goes from Fayetteville, Arkansas, over to Springfield, Jackson, Tennessee, over to Huntsville, Alabama, Columbus, Georgia, and down to Gulfport. As we get into this red area, very serious area, Jonesboro, Arkansas, all of Memphis, Little Rock. We go down in here and let's zoom in a little bit closer. Hattiesburg is going to fall in this 4 category, Alexandria, Louisiana, Montgomery, Alabama. This is where they're expecting the most activity today. And this is where we sit on this map, right here. Let's zoom in, look at where we are so that you'll know where we are. And you see this going on right here. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's zoom in and make sure to see if the tornado warning has expired on that. Severe thunderstorm warnings there at this point, tornado watch and tornado watch. So that got downgraded. But as we look at this, we look at these shear winds. This is Clarksville, 58 miles an hour. Look how many different little cells of storms are going around Clarksdale this morning here. That's 68 mile an hour winds north of Clarksdale, 68.9 miles an hour. Also 68, about the same there. Anywhere around Clarksdale, Lyon, Mississippi, if you're in that area, you've got several storms that are approaching there. These are going to be near Lula, Tunica in the next hour. As we go back down, we look at, let me close these here where we look at this. This area right here is going to be Duncan, Mississippi. That's Charleston, Mississippi. They got shear winds going on at 68 miles an hour there. Let's zoom in on this a little bit more. 58 miles an hour. This storm here that's near Duncan is going to be approaching Clarksdale within the next 25 minutes, Lambert within 45 minutes, and then Falcon, Mississippi within the next hour. So if you've got friends, family in that area, let them know that it's been some serious stuff. It was right back over here about an hour ago that we had tornado warnings. Now, that has run out, and only severe thunderstorm. Wait a minute, what we got now? Yeah, no, we do have a tornado warning here. And this tornado remains in effect until 6:45, about 4 minutes remaining on that. Quarter-size hail with that. And again, these areas there is going to be near Deason and also Shelby around about right now. So a lot of activity already firing off this morning. And as we look at this, on the scale, that storm is moving at 81 miles an hour. If you were to back out and give this a scale of 1 to 10, of this being 1 on the ground, it's rated at a 4. That doesn't mean that it can't touch down, but it's on the lower end. It's probably just a tornado that's picked up by radar that hasn't touched the ground. Now, anything can happen, but that's what we're looking at right there in North Mississippi. And see how this has popped up? And if you'll notice, right in there is where we've got a bunch of rain there as it's coming across there. A lot of these colors, when you turn this map on, and let me turn that off, and we'll go back to it so you can, because we're going to be switching back and forth on this a lot today. Let's turn this off where you can actually see the storm. Do you see how bad that is? Look at the intensity of all of this rain that is coming around Clarksdale. We're going to be getting a lot of rounds like this throughout the day. Heavy rain through there, serious matter. So kind of updating you what's happening in North Mississippi. As we go over here, if you've got friends around Oxford, Mississippi, just west of there, and this is Sardis Lake. Got another storm there. There's no warnings with it, but pretty serious thunderstorm coming down. That's going to be near Holly Springs within the next 40 minutes. So the northern end, look at this, is getting fired off with different storms this morning. As we come down, we're all clean here in the Meridian area right now. Nothing happening out Tuscaloosa area, some showers. All right, let's go back now and get back to where we're going to look at and draw these lines so you'll kind of understand of the severity of what today is. This is going to split Lauderdale County on this 4 to 5 area. Let's turn on locations and show you about where this is. Now, again, I want to remind you, whether you're on the red side or the blue or the purple side of this, it's going to be bad in both areas. The storms don't pick, whoop, that's a line. It doesn't work that way. It's just showing that the intensity further north you go is a little bit worse, but you can have one here just as easily. All right, as we start, let's start on this eastern side here. York, Alabama, y'all are included in this. If you were to go up Highway 17 there, this is going to be Sumter Central High School right here, all the way to Livingston, taking in that area up through Epps. All of our friends over in Epps, all of Gainesville is going to be included in this, up to just west of Uniontown, Alabama, as we follow this on up. And then we'll get up here. Here's Gordo, Alabama. And then this is going to start curving back in and going back into the state of Mississippi up by West Point. All right, let's go back down to Meridian and look at this as we get close into this. This line that cuts across the 4 to 5 area is going to cut across about right here at Lost Gap, just north of where the bridge is, the prison rather. I don't know where a bridge come from out of my mouth. It cuts across the Meridian area right around the MCC campus. Just across the street is where that line's going to be, and this is going to be where the carousel is out at the park, at Highland Park right there. Cuts across right there at Meridian High School, and then we'll go east over to Highway 45. You see where we are right there. Here's Sam's. This is the 45 bypass. We go out to Rainbow Lakes, and it's going to cut right across right there where Tom Bailey Lake is and go due east and then curve up on into Cuba, Alabama. As we go west, let's follow this out of where these two different timelines are. Now, the folks out here at Lazy Acres, Christmas Tree, matter of fact, Michael, I saw you the other day. Chunky, just north of you as you get into this, right across the road here, this is going to be Wood Street is about where that is at Chunky. It dips back down, takes in the Dollar General area over to Newton. All of your area is going to be in this as we follow this west toward Jackson. Here's the Welcome Center that's on the eastbound lane right here. That's included by Forest. This is the westbound one if you're going toward Jackson, where it is. It comes down to Polkville, Mississippi, cuts across, and let's go across here of where it all follows here. This is Florence. This is going to cut through Terry over south of Jackson. This is Utica, Mississippi. Let's back out where we can see what's going on here. This right here, as we move on, this is going to be about the state line right here. The far end of this is going to be Chase, Louisiana, and then it's going to go north as we take in, this is Greenville. Greenwood and these areas are involved in that, the 5 area. All the way on the north end, not to bore anybody, but Tupelo is the line, and Oxford is the line of this. Now, this is some serious weather that is occurring right now in these areas, as we mentioned in Clarksdale. Again, this storm is going to be near Lyon. Right, it's there now and will be in Jonestown, Mississippi in 13 minutes. As we look at this, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, and they do have a tornado watch. We're going to have numerous storms like this throughout the day. We'll interrupt. We'll go live with it to let you know where it is for you to be safe. Again, let's cut back and talk about this. Have you a plan today? Anytime after 1 o'clock, these storms in the Meridian area can happen. They'll come quickly, and I need to button my shirt down. Forgot to do that. They'll come quickly, and we want you to be prepared. Have a place that you're going to go, a tornado shelter. If you live in a mobile home, I cannot stress this enough of do not stay in a mobile home during a storm. Get out, go somewhere. Even if you don't have a shelter to go to or any neighbors that you could go to, drive, allow enough time to go to a store or something. Go to a Walmart, go shopping, go where it's safer, where it's got more walls and thickness. Have helmets, have NOAA weather radios, also wear those thick-soled shoes today. So what that you don't dress to the nine today. It's going to be okay. Be prepared, and staying alive is what it's all amounted to. Now, I want to stress this. With everything we're saying, this does not mean that it is imminent that a tornado is going to strike your home. By any means do I mean that. We have favorable conditions for tornadoes to stretch down. You know, the odds of it getting you are slim. But we're dealing with Mother Nature, and we do not know where they will go. So we all have to follow these and be prepared as if it is going to come near us. You have to be prepared. We don't want anything to happen to you. I'll be here. We will do a street-by-street coverage of this as it comes. We will get down to that street level and let you know on this side of the street, that side of the street, where it's headed within the next 30 minutes, so you'll be prepared. That's what we want to do. If you have any questions, I'll do my very best to answer them as we go. And as we go over to a few of the comments this morning, let's see what we've got going on. Morning to Miss Gail Gafford. Glad you are here. Also, Dean Baskin watching. Jerry Irvin, how are you today? Sylvia Stewart is up. Teresa Smith. Debbie Stewart, good morning to you. Frankie Hoffer, good morning. Appreciate all you do. Thank you, sir. Mike Brown, morning to you, Mike. Also, Terry Ray, thank you for keeping us informed. Also, Donna Roseman, good morning, and prayers for all. We do pass along prayers for everybody. Polly Jackson watching from Stonewall this morning. Dwayne Bounds is up. Wishing everybody has a safe day. Also, Arlene 2 is up. Good morning from Bassick City to Denise Fulton. Sandy White, thanks. Hey, I appreciate you, girl. Also, Belinda Sowers is up. And Adam today, Linda Culpepper, along with Pam Grice, staying safe for everybody. Good morning to Brian Guess, along with Alice Peden. Glad you're here. Sandy Cass is up. Thanks for the updates. Appreciate that. Hey, Jan Hadaway Butler. Hey, Jan. Jan, what are you doing this morning? Let's see here. Also, good morning to Dwayne Phillips watching. Bonnie Early. How are you today, Bonnie? Glad you're there. Thanks to the MPN's listing. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see, as we go down, and Miss Cheryl, how are you doing this morning? Miss Cheryl Rainey is up watching. Morgan Trewick is up. She's watching also. Sissy Davis, Philadelphia area, Carthage. Y'all are going to be included as a question about Philadelphia. Is Philadelphia going to be involved in this? Let's go back, and I didn't focus on a lot of that area. Let's go back and look at this. As we pull radar back up, let me go here. Philadelphia is definitely in all of this area. Stark Vegas, this is Mississippi State campus. Winston County, now I've seen a lot of different models that show this Noxubee County area and Winston County could be an area of concern. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I've just seen models change drastically with these weather. A degree difference can cause a storm to go a different way. But anywhere up in here this afternoon, Winston County, Neshoba County, you pay close attention. It, from what I saw, was just like in this area right in here, being the worst of what we've got, just north of this line here in Meridian, focusing on here toward the Winston County area. And again, these maps could have changed since I last looked at it, but Philadelphia area, be prepared. This could be one of those days that, because we've had them strike in Neshoba County before. Who remembers the storm that hit Louisville a few years back that just totally tore up things? We'll be here to watch the Louisville area also, all through there on top of it. If you've got questions, I'll be glad to pass that along. And again, share. Let everybody know what's going on with this weather. We are, again, at a 5 out of 5 in this immediate area. Let's go back up. Let me look at this and make sure nothing else has happened here. Let's turn off, turn off our severe and go back and look where our storms are at this point. All right, let me turn that off. I talk to myself too much, don't I? I'm working on that. I'm trying really hard. All right, let's go over here. Here's this. Everything south of Meridian is all clear this morning right now. Let's dance around and look at this. This is the Hattiesburg area. They have a wind advisory out. As we look here just to the east there, Waynesboro has an aerial flood warning and a flash flood watch and a wind advisory if you're in that area. As we cut across here, all clear, nothing in this area here. This is where we've got right now, this is our tornado watch for the northern part of the state right now. And this line cuts across. Here's Starkville, just north of Columbus. This town right there is going to be Vinton, Mississippi. That's Atlanta, Mississippi. You know, I didn't even know we had an Atlanta, Mississippi. Duck Hill, Mississippi, over to Greenwood. That's due north all the way up here to just shy. It takes in the Memphis area, Whiteville, Henderson, Tennessee, and those areas there. And if you'll notice, it's starting early for them. Slamming those areas right now. Let's make sure we don't have any more tornado warnings that have been issued for Clarksdale area. Severe thunderstorm warnings, we're still showing 68 miles an hour. And look at this around Jonestown, Mississippi. Look at all that wind. Now, do not forget, that's 81 miles an hour, sheer winds there. Sheer winds can do just as much damage as a tornado hitting the ground. Y'all have seen that to where it'd be just an isolated area and tear up a shed. Wasn't a tornado, but it's sheer winds, things like this that tear up things, and it's going to be sporadic. Here's another one that just popped up here. That's 58 miles an hour. There's another one clocking in at 81 miles an hour. And if you'll look at that, the width of that sheer wind, that circle is a 1 mile wide area there that can drop down. That doesn't mean that it's on the ground right now, but it will pop and hit and could do an area of up to a mile wide there. It's in the air that wide. So this is what we're expecting later on. We don't have it in the Meridian area right now, but we're going to see scenes like this throughout the afternoon. It's not here yet. Let's back down and walk around and take a look here. Look at this line that is going to be coming. Do you see this? And these are moving. This is going to be west of Shreveport. Let's dive into this and look at this, where this is. College Station, Texas here is where this storm is this morning. This is going to be affecting Franklin, Texas here in the next little bit as we looked at that. As we move up through here, Tyler, Texas. A lot of rain coming down there. As we go up here, this is going to be near, let's see what town this is, Majors, Texas. And again, this is what's drifting northeasterly today. And of course, with that one, they're rating that there as a possible tornado in that area there. So they have severe thunderstorm warnings. They have not changed that to a tornado warning. But when that pops up there, it means that easily could swap over to a tornado quickly there. We've got a storm there that's going to be near Mount Vernon, Texas in the next 20 minutes. But this is the line of storms that is going to make its way toward the Mississippi area today. And then pop-ups. That's a big line there. But it will be affecting us. We got a lot of weather out there. Snow up around Amarillo there. So that's where we are. I'll be back in just a little bit with Candace at 8:30. There's going to be a lot of weather developments as we get into the afternoon. It'll get more activity. And again, the Meridian area, do not forget, it'll be several rounds, but we'll start paying close attention 5:30, 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish. Well, I've seen several models that indicated we may have something right along in there. So let's stay on this together this morning and throughout the day, and I'll keep you up to date with the very latest as this all develops there. I want to say thank you to the sponsors that help us all this happen. The Precast Group. Of course, they make tornado shelters here in the Meridian area. If you need one, talk to them. Freeman Tractor, great folks there to help you out. Talbert Enterprises, Kim's Photography, and Rodney and the gang out at Why Not Motorsports Park. Chet's Paint and Body, also the good folks there at Rick Justice Automotive. Graphics Guru, Sanders Gas, also Snowden and Company Real Estate, along with San Marcos, Lauderdale County Farm Supply, Eastgate Tire, EMEPA, and the good folks at Piggly Wiggly. I spoke with Joe early this morning. They're all fired up and getting everything ready to open up this morning so you can get what you need. Bread run. But I'll be back in a little over an hour, and join me also. I'll be on WMOX here in the next little bit and talk to them about some weather conditions that are coming. So it's a weather day ahead of us. We're all safe. Let's keep it that way. Just use common sense and prepare. Don't wait till the last minute to think you need to do something. Batteries, make sure your cell phone is charged today in case you lose power, that your cell phone doesn't go dead. Because that's one of the worst mistakes we all do. I've done it. Just don't charge them. We'll do that. That's coming up here in just a little bit. We'll be back live at 8:30. We'll go back live before then if necessary, but it looks like everything's north of us at this point. Expected in the afternoon, our area beginning at 1 o'clock. I'll be back throughout the day with all of this. Thanks a bunch for joining me this morning. Don't forget to like, share, and do all that fun stuff here on Facebook. Thank you. I'll be back in a little while.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by